And he said if just 2 or 3 come together the same, that he would be in the midst. Some of y'all don't know Madisonville is a great community.
That's right.
We used to call ourselves, Mr. McNeil was a gym teacher in Madisonville Elementary. Y'all remember Art's Chili Kitchen, don't y'all? Art used to have a hamburger for 35 cents that was off. You know, we had a great track team, the Madisonville Tigers. And we had pride, and we used to say, we are the Tigers, the mighty, mighty Tigers. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are, so we tell them we are the Tigers. The Madisonville schools should get on their bus and go over there and set Withrow on fire. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can name some names. Y'all will be surprised at some of the people I named, like Terrence Willis,
Amen.
Steve Harris,
Amen.
Herman Well,
Amen.
Harry Turner, Emil Brown, Darius Purley, Shady Davis. Come on, y'all. Y'all know some of your boys. Huh? Big Chris Hicks. Big Chris Hicks can pick him up and put him down. Merlin Pullins can run. Hutch. We had some outstanding athletes that come out of Madisonville. And when we talk about gymnastics, I brought the championship home to Madisonville. You know what I'm saying? Back in 1960. That was with Ray Wilkerson and Tim Conway. Who else? Anthony Tribble. These are people y'all might forget all about. The know now elementary. Randy Vest. But see, time has moved on. But we're still in the game. Because this is going to be a worldwide message to all 5 districts in the city of Cincinnati. And my long-term goal is to bring it to the world. Because there's a question right now that I can ask anybody, any race, creed, straight, gay. The question is, who you gonna serve?
All right.
Many of you know I worked for the city almost 20 years, dealing with violence, drugs, and homicides and shooting. When y'all sleep, I'm responding to a homicide at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, watching someone dead with their brains splattered on the ground in a pool of blood, whether it's rain, cold, sleet, or snow. And as we speak right now, we're up to 52 homicides in the city of Cincinnati just since January, which the record last year was 66. So we're further now than we was last year. In the last 10 years, I've been to 700 funerals. Every last one of them was due to homicide. And I want the community to start understanding all the aspects of why this is happening. And I listen to the politicians. I'm in the meetings with the mayors and the city councils and community leaders and civil rights leaders trying to find out what is the problem. Why are young black men killing each other? Why 60% of those who are incarcerated don't have a high school diploma? Why are there so many issues that's affecting everybody, but mostly African Americans? Actually, little on me, little on nobody, me questions, and God has given me some answers.
I know he has.
But I let them talk and do their politics and stuff, because most of the problem that's happening in our society today is all one word. It's called sin. But we want to talk about it in a little more detail, and I'm not just talking at you all, I'm talking to you. But I want to educate the community to help you understand what's really going on. Madisonville this year only has 6 homicides, which 1 homicide is bad enough. If you look at Avondale at this point, who has 13. District 3, we have 11. Downtown, down the way, they have 12. And then North College Hill and District 5, they have 8. It equals to 52 homicides in the city of Cincinnati. And 99.9% are young African American men. People ask me all the time, what do you really think is causing the problem, Aaron? What is it? What do you think it is? Well, today I want to discuss those things because they don't talk about really the true issues when we look at our communities. And now we know that heroin has become a #1 factor in Cincinnati. In fact, just since April, we have 899 overdoses in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I can break that down as well. Because most of that is happening downtown, which downtown over the Rhine by itself had 94 homicides. West Price Hill, 58. Westwood, 57. And I've seen it, and it's not just heroin, it is the fentanyl. And then you have the, what's the other one, the co-fentanyl? The carfentanyl. Heroin is magnified by the fentanyl. Then when you add the carfentanyl, which only takes a drop, which is the elephant tranquilizer, it totally devastates the body, where if you see people leaning over and hanging on and literally walking like this or on the ground, it totally devastates them. The bad thing about it, there's a system in our brain that's called the feel good in your brain. And when it feels good, it makes you want to feel good. And so once you get addicted to that, with your dopamine and the molecules in your body, it has a remembrance that, guess what? I want to feel good like that again. There's nothing about feeling good when you're 10 minutes away from death. Amen. And understand trauma, because a lot of the problems in our community, and I'm going to tell you something that may sound strange, but it's bullets that's not killing our youth. I said bullets are not killing our young people. So what do you think is if bullets not killing? Because it's time for us to be educated and wake up and understand what's really going on and what's been happening with us, because everybody's not telling us. And I'm sorry to say, some of the churches are not telling us either. Amen. And the church is supposed to be the base in the community that have the answers to social ills. Because the police department, their job is just to lock you up. They're not trying to solve any of your problems. And I go to all these meetings where people complaining about what we're doing, how we acting, our young kids and everything. And what they do is they have these data analysis meetings where the police department makes them feel good because they let them know that here are the locations in all districts of Cincinnati where the bad people are, where the drugs are. And then they take and let them know who's been arrested, who's been took out of the community. That's just enforcing the law. But I tell them, don't get happy with that, because you got returning citizens coming to your community every day. And you have people who are already adjudicated in the system who still trying to find jobs with 2 or 3 felonies on their record. Then you got people still operating in crime who are not yet even under the police radar. Then we have our youth who are at risk and have the propensity to get involved with drugs and violence. Our school system has become from a pipeline from school to prison. Our young people are being the school is like a base that's actually promoting our children right into the judicial system as juvenile, which leaves them right in front of the door of an adult judicial system, which gives them a felon and can destroy their life. There's laws up in our legislation that make it very difficult, justifies to yourself, I'm out going to sell this dope. I had a client of mine, and when he came out, you know what he told me? He said, Aaron, he said, bro, and these guys trust me on the streets, because I've been in the streets. So they talk real with me. AP, I'm going to tell you like this, bro. He said, I opened my refrigerator up the other day. It was empty, and I looked at my 3 babies. Just came home. He said, I looked in the refrigerator, then I looked at my 3 babies. I don't have no job. All I got to do is call my cousin and give me a pack and a gun, and I can get my rent paid. But at the same time, you're putting yourself in a position where you can be killed or locked up for a long time. Because there's federal laws that you young people need to understand that's in place that's designed to lock you up for a very long time. I got in trouble when I was like 18 years old. Went to jail for 6 months. I'm 61 years old. Been a productive citizen, been working with the city almost 20 years, taking care of my kids, my family. Haven't had nothing in 42 years but a traffic ticket. And it wasn't even a moving violation. I got picked by the city, I got picked by the mayor to be on the complaint authority where I would be able to chastise police officers who got caught doing inappropriate stuff. I'm going to educate you and let you know your rights in terms of law enforcement. Because they break the law and violate your right, but you don't know they violated. They stop you unless they have some type of probable cause. Otherwise, you just ask them right there, am I being detained? No, see you later. Nothing else they can do to you. If they give you a hard time, ask for their supervisor. But we need to understand what's really going on. I was picked, I was chosen, I interviewed, I was picked by the lawyer staff, I was picked by the mayor. Did a background check. And they pulled up a theft charge that I had over 42 years ago and used it to deny me the position. Wow. So we have to understand that we have wickedness that's set in high places. That's why we don't so get educated and understand what's happening. People just get money for programs, saying they're going to help people, and the change really got to come within our legislation. We don't change the law, we just going to go through the cycle. This program, that program, and they all fighting for millions of dollars. They're trying to take our program. We can do it better. Yeah, we'll do it for $500,000. We'll do it for $1 million. We'll do it for $500,000. It's a vicious cycle. And there's men who want to work and take care of their families and can hardly do it because what? A felony that you had 10 years ago. And most of the problems when I said bullets is not killing our kids, you know what's killing our kids? Poverty. And concentrated poverty. Concentrated poverty means that they actually focus on you. Because if you're not reading by the 3rd and 4th grade, the prison will be built for you by the time you're 15. We got trauma, that's what's killing us. All of us trauma. And trauma is ACE, means adverse childhood experience. Something has happened in our childhood, something in our life, that a lot of these people that's out of pocket are acting out something that happened in their life as a child. I remember as a child myself. I remember as a child real good. I remember when my stepfather shot my real dad. Y'all know kissing? Shot him. I was only 10 years old. I remember right now when they beat on the door. He had big hands. He punched the lock in. My mama 4 feet tall. They try not to do it. From the clinical aspect, even our behavior has been affected based on the food that's in our community. Did y'all know that? Come on. Actually, there's food that impairs our brain, and our children don't function good at school because some of the food that we get. Some of us get food stamps, and I seen a lady at the store the other day, basket full of whole Twinkies, Pop-Tarts, Popsicles, Kool-Aid. Everybody's making money on this because the dentist is going to come see somebody. I'm trying to keep as many of my original teeth as I can now. There's some things that we don't understand that's been happening, and when the police department sees somebody who's out of pocket, whether they might have a mental illness, some type of stress, some type of post-traumatic stress, but their behavior makes them want to shoot them or kill them because they don't understand how that child got there. When I do a home visit, I find out why little Willie, 12 years old, already with a gun. I found out why he's so mad at the teacher when he got beat half to death before he went to school. He's behind on his grade because he's also going to school and haven't had no breakfast. So I need my families back because sometimes they get upset when we start telling the truth. But God has put it in my heart to start reaching out and tell the truth. And you know what? I done work with thousands of students and stuff, but I got enough people right here in my family to start. Oh, I got a beautiful family. That's why I'm just being kind of candid right now. Just real. But helping us understand the process. The average youth, if you cause a crime and go to court, they can give you 9 months. Let me check y'all. I mean, if the juvenile system gets $50,000 just to house him for 9 months, but if he come in there with 18 months, how much does he work to the city, to the state? $50,000 for 9 months, but he's coming in with 18 months. How much is he worth to the state? $100,000. The building holds 2,200 inmates. You do the math. They're making so much money. I'm not going to juvenile talk. I'm talking about real shooters, real killers, real robbery boys that feel like they're hitting licks. I said, you can't see that you're more of a lick than the person you call a lick. Right. You locked up than you ever can make out here. You're making trillions of dollars. Obama said that we spend so much money in the judicial system that it's enough for everybody to go to college. But people are unjustly caught up in the system. I got a friend now, y'all might have known him from Madisonville, Tony Morris. Got in trouble in New York, shot a man. He did 30 years. I'm not telling his business, I'm telling the truth. Come on. He called me trying to get out because he's been in there so long with other old charges piling up that have expired sentences. And he can't get out, and he's being held on some expired sentences. He's 58 years old, and they're saying you can get out in 2039. Now we got to find a lawyer who understands old law in order to give this man his freedom. So you young people, it's not about getting in this system and don't understand what's happening, because people who go to jail, it's mostly poor people. Because if a man got money, they omit the law anyway. How can I go to jail for selling dope and give the lawyer the same dope money I'm going to jail for? Anybody took the taxes out of it yet? How can he take it?
You right. You right.
How can he take it, Mike? You can ready to send me to jail for 20 to 40 for a break, and I done paid this lawyer $20,000, and I'm still going to jail? You're going to send his kid to college.
Got
He's
that
going
right.
on vacation.
Got that right.
On the money I sacrificed for.
Right.
So you got to understand what's happening. They give you 40 years for a $40 piece of that fentanyl. Because now they're making a charge with attempted murder. And I've seen people that I walked up on high from fentanyl. I've been trained to give them that Narcan to resuscitate them. They wake up and go looking for the dope man. I'm serious.
Over and over.
And it's doing nothing, but it ain't nothing new. It's been around for a while.
Amen.
Yeah.
But it has fell on the doorstep of some of the people who's responsible for bringing it in. So now they're ready to do something about it. They're ready to do something now. You know what I'm saying?
Kids and their daddies and
That's
their
what they kids and their
moms.
dad. Look, I work downtown. I'm like, where you from?
It's
You
affecting
from what? Indian who? Indian Hill.
It's
What you doing down here with this guy right here? You in the suburb and you down here?
They do that with crack.
And there's been more of them than us, just to tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
I'm not president
Tell the
person, but we
truth.
need to understand what's going on. Overdosing a long time ago. You understand? They need to get along about, because the one thing to be passed out on some fentanyl, and another thing to be shot to death in the street.
Watch out, little boy.
So what I did, I began to take the information and the knowledge that I had, and I wanted to format it in a documentary so I could take it to rec centers and schools and churches to help us understand what's really going on. Because it's big business. What would happen if crime really just stopped? Really just stopped right now. I said, man, you really want to know?
Be out of a job.
I said, you wouldn't need that many police?
Sure would.
Wouldn't need all y'all lawyers down there? Wouldn't need all the prosecutors and judges? So actually, they are manufacturing most of the economy in America is coming on our bad behavior. Some of us have been made crazy on purpose, based on our food, based on the trauma. Look, here's even people who have what you call compassion fatigue, because we still feel nervous because I'm trying to let my kid go to school that morning, but somebody just got shot right down the street. Fatigued, and that's what's happening in the West Side, because West Henry, Harrison Avenue is being populated by young, low-income black. You can't even see the dynamics in our neighborhood because the Arab stores has given the drug dealers everything they need to operate all day long.
Stop it.
They got the liquor, they got the chicken, they got the condoms,
They got the hair.
they got everything. Everybody playing with the Chinese that came over here. We got red, blue, orange hair. They got our nails. They own us. Got to understand what's happening to us. And it's causing a behavior. The easiest thing for them to do is give you a felony that can follow you for the rest of your life.
Say that.
So when I examine a young man, I find out all the dynamics of why, son, are you where you are. And we find out about the stress, the post-traumatic stress. We find out about abuse, whether it's verbal, whether it's sexual, whether it's physical. Then your child going to school, he's all bottled up. And the teacher don't know what's going on. She's like, look, Billy, you're acting, get out of the room. Right. Get out of the room. Because he wouldn't pay attention to the board. Found out that he just needed some glasses that his mama couldn't afford to buy. So there are some things we need to understand to save our children. Trauma is a result of an event or some type of circumstance that you experience, whether it was physically, emotionally harmful or life-threatening, that can last you a lifetime. And so what if we do if we're not treated by a physician or a psychologist? We self-medicate.
That's right.
So we try to get high to take us out of the reality of our situation. Some of these mamas is in bad, some of these mamas off the chain. I had a little boy tell me, you know, hey, my friends on the street love me more than my mama. I said, what you mean? He said, well, on weekends, Willie coming over. You know, he gonna get my hair, my nails dead. Don't mess with that meat, all that Kool-Aid, cause that's for Willie. You know what I'm saying? I'm your son.
Right.
You're talking about Willie and your nails, I'm your son. So he's
goes.
confused, like, look, you love Willie more than me, I'm your son. So when he go to the block, he think he got love. Cause dude say, yeah, this is my dude right here. This is my dude, I got you. Somebody mess with you, bro?
Let me know.
I got you.
Right. Wow.
And what they don't know, that even when you pick that gun up, you think you're just picking a gun up. No, you're picking up a mandatory 18 months or 1 to 3 for a CCW. If you're driving with somebody with a firearm, your transport month's $1,000. I had 3 cases this week. First time, I'm trying to get these diversion programs, so when you have a first-time offender, you get into the diversion program as opposed to letting them dip you in the system, and now you got a record. And what they're doing now to put you in jail as an adult, they're using your juvenile record. And that's why we all say Black Lives Matter. Yes, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, but the numbers show that blacks are being affected more than anybody. I got nephews and nieces that's coming up.
That right.
And I want to put something in y'all so y'all can be entrepreneurs and businessmen and businesswomen. And look at some of the people who got great stories in our family, great adversity. My brothers and sisters have great adversity. We got people in our family that got business and education.
This is my business partner right here. This is Posh. I'm Nicolette, that's Posh.
Yo, my brothers, man, that I went to school with, Lehman Chester and Michael Scott and Reggie Denton, Ricky Lee.
Come on. Amen.
We were the Tigers of my side. Steve Pullins, my brother Steve Pullins, used to be in the Tower House. Now he's the manager of the Tower House. My brother Mike got him a truck. He doing landscaping. My guy, he's 17. I said, what year's your truck? 2017. All right. So you've been going so long, your credit ain't even messed up. You got Kim Pullins. She's doing her thing now. She's the manager of the
Amen.
female.
Amen.
Got her own cleaning service.
Yeah. Doing it. Won't he do
My
it?
sister Marilyn.
Won't he do it?
Marilyn gonna write a book. And I can keep going on. We all
Won't he
strong.
do it?
We strong. Look, Aaron. Stay strong.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, y'all love you.
Save my
Cousins, I love you.
Stay out the way,
God
man.
must have wanted the people here to be here.
Yeah.
Renee, my beautiful cousin Renee. Y'all don't know this is good, just to support. Let me let y'all know something about your success in your life. If a piece of fruit, we'll say apple, is on the tree and it's ripe, there's a time when all fruit is ripe, right? But if it stays on the tree too long, what happens? I think I'm right. It's time for me to get ready to step out. I said, wait a minute, hold on, you might save it. You might save somebody. Hold on,
It's
we need
the
help.
truth.
Because I got jail space I need.
Right. So they get paid for prisoners, for putting them in prison?
The state, those buildings that are being that house our young men, that's what they do. They only house their body. They never change their cognitive thinking. That's why they get out, and you're like, well, how did he go back? He went back because only his body was housed and never his mind was changed. See, when your mind changes, you do something different.
What's got that head count on $1?
Let me ask y'all a question.
How they do
Answer
that?
her question.
I mean, how do you get money to
Because
have?
they own their own prisons. They
Your
franchise.
tax dollars. Your tax dollars. But what's happening now, me and you, cuz, can go in business and open our own prison now. So now this has become a money thing. Now let me see something. Let me ask y'all a question. Is it possible to have eyes but still can't see? We almost finished. Is it possible to have eyes and still can't see? It is? But is it possible to have ears and still can't hear? Yes. Is it true? Well, you mean to tell me it's possible to have ears and you still can't hear? Let me ask y'all. Let me show y'all something. Let me see how I focus. It's right in front of y'all face. So pay attention so you won't have no excuse. Because this is how our kids and this is how the world is. I got $10 right here. Is that right? $10. That's real, ain't it? Nephew? Touch, feel that. Is that real?
That's real.
These are $5 and $5 equal $10. Who wants the $10? You want them? You still want it? You don't want it? Because it's part of it? Okay, anybody? You do.
It's still money.
Who still want it? Still want it? You don't want it?
It ain't lost its value.
Hold on. That's what I'm saying. That is how society see you. Once you get a felon, once you're not educated, they no longer see the value in you and don't want to touch you no more. He said he still wants the $10. So I'm gonna ask him to come up here, get on my back, and I'm gonna buck him off 10 times. I never said $10. Are you paying attention to what I'm trying to show you? I never said his mind was thinking $10.
Right.
I said $10. Y'all seeing how you can sit right here with your eyes open and your ears open and still can't see?
That's good, that's good.
But what happens is God still see value in you if you've been messed up, on dope, messed up, abused, locked up, backstabbed, talked about, misunderstood. God still sees value in you. But here's the stimulus package. Obama was supposed to come with the stimulus package that's going to help everybody. I told God that if he would bless me, that I would run for him. The worst thing, this is one thing I want y'all to take away from here. If you got something to do, do it while you can. Because the worst thing in the world, decide I want to do it, and now you can't. It's called who you gonna serve.